Hey, what's up, people? It's me. PLSOD, Power, Love, Self, Cipher, Divine. Uh, I say it time and time. Say power, love, self, or die mentally is what I'm actually talking about. But I'm grasping this subject real fast because there's something that I have to hit on. And as you see, this is live. I don't write none of this. This is something that I'm ready to tell y'all my story. Okay. Matter of fact, before I do that, this is what I want. I want the young youth to understand that the music and the battle raps that's given to you, half of these people are exaggerating. Exaggerating. They're exaggerating about their guns and their thug life and all of that. You have to depict what's real and what's not, what's going to benefit you and what's not. Uh, we must understand that the music is a very spiritual thing. And when I say spiritual, I mean, I'm talking about it captures the ear, it deals with the mental process. If I give this to you over and over and over and time again until you like it, then that's what it would be. It's called growing on you. And it seems as if the negative music with a lot of gun violence has grown on a lot of the young youth. It has grown so huge that now that even the whites engage in gun violence as young teenagers in in the rap music. And I'm not saying that this wasn't been going on. I'm just saying for it to come out to the forefront, we're seeing a lot more of it on the internet. I really I I was almost hit up for a gun charge just by going to a gun store. You know what I'm saying? And touching the firearms in a legal place. They was going to try to give me possession of a firearm. You hear me? During commission of a felony. I haven't had a felony in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So I there's no rules on how long you're not allowed to have a firearm. But in my look, I didn't want a firearm any motherfucking way. I didn't need it actually. It was my wife was actually going to get the firearm for her preferences. I didn't need the firearm, but I went with her. So they see me in the gun store with my wife and I'm showing my wife the difference between a revolver and an automatic, and this is why you could use this one. This is why you could use this one, and then they try to say it was going to be a straw purchase, and my wife never purchased the firearm. So months later, they had a warrant for me, and I turned myself in, and this guy comes down, holds me, and tells me he's giving me a possession of a firearm, during a commission of a felony. And I'm sitting here saying to this officer, "Are you really serious? Are you really trying to give me these charges?" Like, I wasn't running out with the gun. I don't give two shits about having a pistol. I did my time with that shit. You know what I'm saying? That shit in my life was going and past. You know, uh, so I couldn't afford a good lawyer, so I took a public defender, saying to myself that this shit shouldn't and won't stand. But I went to take it to trial, and right before I go to trial, the prosecutor says He likes my music. He thinks that my music was positive. He thinks that I can help the community. Is there any way that that I can talk to the community? And they just throw this charge out the window. And I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, he likes my music. He even checked out my page. So I'm saying, damn, that's heavy. You know what I mean? So I took into that like, man, I'll speak to the kids anyway, if I can. Now I'm saying to him, I'm gonna need help trying to get in these places to speak to these kids because I'm a felon, remember? So I go and they let me go and tell me I got 9 months to do a couple speeches for children. So my first one was recording the library that's being built on Newcastle Avenue, which is for the children. I still yet have not been able to speak to the children about the guns and the violence and the drugs that's happening. I guess they feel like I could reach them faster than they could, or that they would listen to me faster than they would listen to them because I was there. I agree. Now, this is the crazy part. It's been 3 months now. I have yet to do a second speech within the kids. I have yet to talk to them yet. I have to put my, more energy into doing that. But I want to do it over my page as well. I want to say a couple things. I want to make sure that I got this on cam and ready. Excuse me. To all my young youth out of there, let's do number one first. You must, you must, and this is a must. You must, to all my young youth out there that's stuck around that violent shit, you have to change your environment. Your environment is so very important. Changing your environment, whether you are leaving your hood and going somewhere else, but as a young youth, or can you find a girlfriend that lives somewhere else where you can go be with her, or a cousin, or another family member, or you know. And I'm saying this to those who can, because I know that there's some out there that's less fortunate and they're stuck in their environment. I know that. And in their environment where they're stuck at, they're not giving nothing for this young youth to do better. They're not. And it's sickening. It's sickening. It really is. Because it just reminds me of a movie. And I think about my kids. If y'all seen the Golden Child was surrounded by four corners of evil at all times because they was trying to break him. Our children are surrounded by four corners of evil all the time. All the time. Whatever the evil is, I can bring it to you. Crack, dope, guns, uh, drug selling. It's around them all the time. I know I was in it. But you young youth, you have to change your environment. If you don't change your environment, it's going to be rough. Okay? Now, to go beyond changing your environment, after you change your environment, you have to put together your plan for the next steps of becoming free of violence. Okay? It's of drugs. I can't hit on that. I'm just hitting on the guns and the violence. But I know that the drugs go with guns and violence. I know this. But the drugs and the violence is definitely uh, a sad thing. Hold on a second. Let me take this. Hello. Hey. I don't think so, Mom. I could text her up and let her know. I can text her up and see. Okay. All right. Now, like I said, that was my old earth. You know what I mean? But You have to recognize. Step two, after you do that environment, if you can't get out of your environment, trap yourself in a place where there's just you and you. It's just you. It's just you. Lock yourself away. Lock yourself away and discipline yourself. Change what you're listening to. That's another thing. Weigh it out. Don't listen to too much gangster rap. Listen to some conscious music. Listen to some soothing music. Uh, and this is if you can't avoid the environment outside. Stay inside of your home and get and collect your thoughts and know what you need to do. Third step, it kind of goes inside with the environment. All of this does. Look at the people who are around you. Are they trying to get something out of life, or are they trying to live by the gun? Because if you live by the gun, you die by the gun. That's just it. I was sitting talking to my daughter, and we was talking about how I told her that most people who shoot and kill people, the karma comes upon and it gets them. Karma doesn't miss anybody. It just doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But my daughter said that there's people who have killed people and got away with it. Have they really got away with it? If they're not dead yet, then they haven't got away with it. Yes, we're all going to die. You know what I'm saying? But if you're young, you shouldn't be thinking about that unless you're unless you're in that environment where it can happen. And if you're in an environment where it can happen, you need to lock yourself away and think about this next steps that you take. And my man said it, watch how you walk in your shoes, because there's somebody out there that could take your life, man. They could take your life. Now, some people that live, they say, I gotta carry my gun. And you know what? It's sad. I thought I would never say this. Maybe you do, okay? You have to walk late night. You have to go get off the bus from work and you have to walk home. You might need your gun because these motherfuckers are crazy, okay? The cops are even crazy. So also with those cops, you got to be careful about having a firearm with the cops around, because if they see you, then bam. So know, as a young black youth, you are living in double life. You could get shot by the niggas. You can get shot by the people and their environment. And you can get shot by the cops. You know what I'm saying? So of course I know it's tough, my people, my young youth. If you only understand that your environment and what you listen to can dictate your life, then you will understand that you can be free from death at an early age. If you have a gun, put it the fuck away. Put it away. It has to be legal. If the gun is legal, put it away. Just because you have a legal gun doesn't mean you want to show people. I never showed nobody my firearm when I was coming up. Don't show nobody your fucking guns. You don't want nobody to know that you have that shit. Do you understand what I'm saying? It makes your life easier. You can focus on other things. So you got environment. You got locking yourself away and disciplining yourself. Change what you're listening to. Change what you're watching. Change your friends. If they are not friends, if they into the hammers and they dragging you there, because that's going to lead to death, or you're going to have to defend your friend in arms. You know what I'm saying? I know it's a war out there. I know it's a war out there. I was out there. You know what I'm saying? I just need my young brothers to stop and think about what's out there. It's more out there than death at a young age. Okay? It's more out there. Uh Authorities are losing their minds. Okay? And some things that I really want to say, but I can't say them. I just want y'all to realize that these people are going to lock you away from your families, and your families need you. And if you have kids at your young age, they're going to need you as a father. And if you are a young man that's grown up without a father or a mother, then you would know that your kids would need his father or his mother, or she would need her father or her mother there with her. Do not risk losing your fatherhood or your motherhood being a gangster. Okay? Don't do it. It's just not what we're built to do. Okay? It's not what we're built to do. Put your fucking gun away. Spike Lee came up with this movie. Well, it's called Chirac, and people are dissing my nigga. And I love Spike Lee. I love the ideal that he made a movie that was serious, but it wasn't like, you know, intriguing to make motherfuckers want to do it, because you keep showing motherfuckers how to gun bang, they get hyped and believe that they can do it themselves. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, you have put it this way, I didn't want to get off the subject. When I saw Spike Lee, man, in that movie, it was showing the power of the woman, and she was saying, if you don't put down the guns, dudes, you're not getting no sex, and dudes are sick because the nurturing of a woman is everything. I don't give a shit, but us, these people have gave you the gun and took your black woman. You hear me? And brainwashed her. You need to put this shit down and get your black woman and your family and fix this shit. There's only one way to do it, and it's not going to be by the gun. Put the fucking gun away. This is the gun that you need to use. This weapon right here. I've been through a lot of shit, and I used to write down everything that I'd done, and I realized that that writing stopped me from losing my mind at times. You hear me? Like, I still have people say, you psychotic, oh, you this and that. I don't enjoy them saying that. I go home and I sit and think, damn, am I really psychotic? Or are they trying to make me believe I'm psychotic? Are they psychotic? You know what I'm saying? It's the damage that a young black man has taken and all the things that he has seen. And I know that some of y'all out there have seen way more worse shit than I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Way more worse shit than I've seen. But listen, man, power, love, self, or die. And that could mean physically. Because if you're out there and you're not caring about your life in a whole, a nigga can come by and take it. A nigga can come by and take it, man. Come by and take it. Um, please, people, my young men, especially in the city right now. I used to be in the city. It was terrible. I got out of the city. It's really terrible now. Y'all are in the city. And I want to say this. My son's friend said, prove to him that it was dope that ruined some of the community. Well, I can tell you that the dope has ruined the community. The dope ain't crack. The crack was set to ruin the community. But the brothers and the sisters, the black power overcame the crack. So some motherfuckers is living with it, and they know how to pay their bills and still smoke a little crack. But it's gonna be hard to pay your bills and do dope. It's gonna be hard to pay your bills while you're doing dope. Dope is the most terriblest thing, man. It's heroin. You know, it's a physical reaction. Put away the dope. Get away from the dope. Okay? Now, I know that there's some young brothers out there who's been raised around the dope, and this is all they know. They're going to get their money from that dope, but you must get out of the game as soon as possible, because with that money, it comes the gun. And with the gun, it comes the death. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. And the dope can bring you death as well, man. You get a wrong bag of that D, man, it's a wrap. It's a wrap, man. They put that shit in there to fucking distract y'all and pull y'all families apart and break y'all apart and make y'all individuals that'll run for the gun and leave your woman. Power to my people, man. PLSOD, Power, Love, Self, Cipher, Divine. And I'm out.